this is something that I have realized over the last couple of years that I'm really passionate about, and that is the process of chasing a dream. It's something that during my time in Nashville, where I lived for 5 years, when I first got started with this, just felt like it wasn't talked about. I felt like it was you kind of come here and you do the things that they tell you to do, and if you don't get like your break by a certain point, then you just kind of give up. And even if that wasn't explicitly said, it felt like that was kind of built into the culture at large. Not even just in Nashville, but I think kind of as a whole, like societally, we can tend to be like, well, it's fine to chase something for a little while, but then you reach a point where it's like you kind of need to get your stuff together and you need to be more responsible and you need to make more money, and you're supposed to want these creature comforts that our society provides. And a lot of times what that leads to, I've seen it with a lot of other people, with friends and just people that I've known over the years, is like if they don't like make it at a certain point in their life, and normally I would say that's like kind of late 20s ish, then they just lose any desire or ability to justify continuing doing it, and they just put it down altogether. I recently turned 34 and am still after this music dream and kind of creative dream at large. And I don't know, I find myself like really passionate about talking to other people about it, like when it comes up, like the strategy of it and the not quitting and giving up is important to me. So yeah, I want to talk about it. If you're new here, my name's John Hart. I am a musical artist and a business owner who now lives in Mississippi. Like I said, I was in Nashville for 5 years and kind of had a drastic life change restructuring where I left Nashville, decided that I wanted to live somewhere else. I didn't know it was going to be Mississippi, which is where I'm from originally at the time, and that I wanted to be there and really try to go with this music thing, not being in Nashville. And there were some really specific reasons for that. And really what I've been confronted with internally in the last like 6 to 12 months has been this battle of like living in a place that doesn't really understand or value the arts the way that somewhere like Nashville does. And I love living in Mississippi. I have awesome friends and a lot of my family's down there, and horses and land and space to think and all that stuff, and so I love that. It's just been weird. I feel like I kind of woke up like 6 to 8 months ago after working to build another business that supports the music thing, and realized that like I don't have the same conversations anymore that I had in Nashville. I don't have people around that understand it the same way. I have a lot of people that are supportive, but life in Mississippi just looks different and it feels different. And like I said, a lot of that's good, but as it relates to the creative things, I feel like I really have to fight for that mental space to keep the, I hesitate to say passion because I am passionate about it. It's a part of who I am, but it doesn't feel as like visceral or as like alive in me as it once did, but it still feels in a different way, maybe even more so like part of who I am at my core. But I have to fight to keep that alive. All that to say, I want to do a series on here that talks about like just the process, like what I've been going through mentally, kind of the highs, the lows, and figuring out how to preserve a life that affords me the ability to like not put down the things that I'm passionate about. And I think that especially if you're going to do it independently, or even if you're approaching it independently, regardless of what it is that you do creatively or otherwise, that there's got to be strategy behind it. So the goal is like I'm going to talk about what's been going on as I relate to chasing this musical dream of writing songs and making music and being able to tour again and stuff like that. But I hopefully that can kind of apply to whatever it is that you're passionate about, because I think that the idea of living in an unconventional way and chasing something that's not designated as like a conventional way to make a living with kind of a straightforward set path, I think that like all the mental games and the discipline and the things that are required to actually chase that, like I think there's a lot of overlap. So if you're somebody that feels kind of stuck, or confused or discouraged, hopefully this can kind of be a place where maybe I'm thinking through things that you're thinking through, or you can take some of what's said and apply it to whatever it is that you're going after, because I think that life should be interesting and it should be fun, and there's a lot of things in the world that can bring joy, and I've always been of the mentality that like it doesn't make sense to spend your life doing stuff that you don't want to do to acquire things that you don't really need. So that's the goal for this series. There's probably gonna be a lot of videos. I've got like a 20 to 25 item list of just ideas that I've had about like, oh, this came up today, I should talk about that or this. So there's gonna be minimal editing probably, and nothing fancy, but hopefully the content of what's talked about can encourage you or maybe spark something new within you. So if that interests you, would love to have you along. If you hadn't subscribed, that'd be cool if you did that. If you want to leave a comment, like I would love to hear if you relate to anything, what it is that you're chasing, what you're passionate about, and maybe even some of the hurdles that you are working through right now. So love y'all. I will talk to y'all soon, and hope you have a good day. See you.